Hey there, West Michigan. Meteorologist Michael Behrens here with you. Thanks for joining me this evening. We're keeping an eye on some impactful winter weather around West Michigan. Go ahead and mute myself over there since I can hear me. It is going to be kind of a slippery night out there, especially for our northern counties. Those are the ones that are going to see the biggest impact this evening, where we keep an eye on the possibility for ice accumulations that could possibly combine with some pretty gusty winds and result in some power outages overnight. We have several areas under winter weather alerts you want to go ahead and get to. So let me go ahead and jump over to the radar right now to show you what we're looking at here. We've seen sporadic light rainfall, light drizzle, even some light mix across West Michigan so far this evening. Already on the radar, seeing just some light mix around Kent County into Ionia County on up into Newaygo County. What we're seeing on the radar right now is very light in nature. In fact, if I decrease the sensitivity a little bit, you can see most of it fades away. So what we're going to see here right now is not so much the higher impact stuff and the big accumulating potential. That will come later tonight because there's plenty more moisture with this system that has to move in before we're all said and done. In fact, if I take the radar here and we'll reset it and then we'll go a little bit wider, you can already see some heavier rain working its way to the south of I-94, and that only gets heavier the further south you go. In fact, plenty of heavy rain through Wisconsin, Illinois, and into Indiana. It's all part of a large system that is producing wintry weather for us up here in the north, some blizzard-like conditions out toward the Dakotas, and severe weather if we track this system all the way down to the south. They've had tornadoes in Texas and Louisiana today, all associated with this same weather system. So what are we expecting here in West Michigan when it comes to impacts from our weather tonight? Well, we're going to keep an eye most closely on our northern counties. That's where winter weather advisories will be in effect from now until 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. This isn't going to be for snow. This is going to be for the potential ice accumulation that comes with the system. We could have 1/10 to 2/10, in some places maybe closer to 3/10 of an inch of ice come out of the system as we head through the overnight tonight. What that looks like on the hour by hour is the sporadic light stuff continuing to pop up from time to time for the next hour or two. But as we get to midnight and beyond, that's when the bulk of the moisture with this system starts to push into West Michigan, and you can see those northern counties dealing with the wintry mix and freezing rain. This continues as we travel through the overnight hours, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, continuing to see wintry mix and freezing rain in our northern counties. The biggest impact areas likely to be centered around Big Rapids and to the north, where we could see some of the higher impacts of the freezing rain. It will be possible, though, even as far south as the northern portions of Kent County, northern portions of Muskegon County, but it gets more likely as you head towards central portions, north central portions of the lower peninsula. This starts to shift to more rain as we head deeper toward 5, 6 o'clock, even into places like central Newaygo County, and eventually this all pushes out of here as we head into the day on Thursday, and the temperatures will rise above freezing. In fact, we're expecting upper 30s for Thursday afternoon. So any ice that does fall likely to melt. It's not going to stick around, but it will make the morning commute quite treacherous, and it could lead to some power outages as we head through the overnight hours. Here's the latest forecast for the ice accumulation, where you see the purples up in the northern zones. That is the highest likelihood of accumulation, the highest areas where ice is expected to fall. Some of those areas include, of course, areas to the north and east of Big Rapids, northeastern portions of Oceana County, northern Montcalm, and most of Mecosta County. You can see from Mount Pleasant to Big Rapids a pretty good swath of ice accumulation potential as we head through tonight. Now, if you're not super familiar with ice situations, it seems pretty minimal, right? 0.1, 0.3. These aren't big numbers, but it doesn't take a lot of ice to cause issues across the region. In fact, ice accumulations under 1/10 of an inch and up to 1/10 of an inch can cause trees and power lines that are weaker to cause issues. Definitely slick spots on the roads and walking surfaces out there. But You add that to just a little bit more, say double that to 0.2, 0.25. That's when you have cars and windshields definitely getting quite coated. Dangerous on the bridges out there with the freezing surfaces of the road. It's going to be really tough to stop with ice of this type of accumulation, and trees and power lines are certainly going to start to fall down, especially those weak limbs out there on some of the trees that may be more dead or a little not quite as healthy of a growth. You would definitely see those fall, and if they fall in the right spot, could cause damage to houses, cars, or power lines. I think this is going to be at least a possibility tonight when you factor in the winds, which are already quite gusty across the region. Winds gusting to 30 miles per hour in Fremont, 24 in Big Rapids, 24 in Ionia, 32 in Grand Rapids, already up to 41 even in Muskegon. Those winds only going to stay as strong or even increase as we head through the next several hours. In fact, the hour-by-hour wind forecast here shows 30 to 40 plus gust as we head through the overnight hours and into the early part of your Thursday. These winds do back down as we head toward Thursday afternoon, but they will remain breezy. The big concern, though, will be the wind in the overnight, especially in those northern counties where we do have the icing potential. Now, the rest of West Michigan that's not under the winter weather advisory will be under a wind advisory tonight. That's going to start at 10 o'clock, already started about 30 minutes ago, and that's going to go until 7 o'clock Thursday morning. Now, the reason this doesn't extend to those northern counties is that wind threat is included with the winter weather advisory for your region. You still can have gusts as high as 45 miles per hour in that northern zone, but covered by that winter weather advisory. So that's what we're looking at here. The areas that have the wind advisories and not the winter alerts are mostly going to see rain as we head through tonight, but some mix could still be possible, especially once you start to get to northern portions again of Muskegon County, northern portions of Kent County. That's going to be the biggest impact area. The good news is, though, once we get past the winds tonight, the rest of Thursday is pretty quiet. Thursday morning, things quiet down. We stay quiet through Thursday afternoon, but as we head toward Thursday evening, we shift gears a bit. Temperatures are going to start to head down, and lake effect snow going to start to become an impact here across West Michigan. Lake effect snow showers start to set up Thursday night into Friday. They continue as we head throughout the day Friday and into Friday afternoon. Lake effect bands continuing into your Saturday as well. These snow showers will be around possibly in some regions all the way until Sunday. So we're going to be looking at 2-3 days here of some lake effect snow bands across West Michigan. These will bring accumulation with them. It's not looking to be the heaviest snow that we've ever seen here in West Michigan. So we're not talking like an inch per hour, but over a 2-3 day period, we could easily pick up in some locations north of 1 to 3 inches. I think 1 being on the low end once you get away from the bands. I think inside the bands, 3+, maybe even closer to 4, 5, or 6 would be possible by the time we get to the end of the weekend. But again, the good news is it's coming over a stretch of time, and the good news for people who want a white Christmas, our temperatures don't really go back above freezing between this snowfall this weekend and Christmas Day. So if you get caught under the right lake effect snow band, you might as well go ahead and tick that box. White Christmas is looking pretty likely if you get the snow this weekend by the time it's all said and done. Again, the next 48 hours here, rain and mix tonight. Of course, that ice possible to the north. Everyone is expecting rainfall or mix tonight. There's not going to be any areas that luck out and stay dry. It's going to be across the region. We'll see Thursday up to 40, mostly cloudy with that scattered rain and mix, mostly early and then again late in the day. Friday, lake effect snow scattered across the region. Some of those bands could again be heavy, so watch out for reduced areas of visibility and some slick travel at times. Temperature 35 for Friday afternoon. So that kind of takes care of most of the topics here for this evening. I'm going to go ahead and switch back the camera here, and I'm going to take a look at what you guys are saying on Facebook. Kyle checking in says it's pretty windy and really cold so far here in Belding. Yeah, those wind gusts have been, again, 30+ miles per hour. It's pushing wind chills all the way down, say 10+ degrees colder than the actual air temperature. Let me go ahead and grab one of our temperature and feels like maps for you here, and we'll put that back on just so you have an idea of where we're at right now. Ionia feels like 22 with a temperature of 33, 32 in Big Rapids feels like 21, 34 in the city feels like 22. Again, these temperatures tonight are going to be straddling that freezing line, especially as you get north of Grand Rapids. And again, that's where the ice threat will be through the overnight hours. Vicki saying she has plans tomorrow, Montcalm, Isabella counties. Depending on when you start your plans, it should be fine for tomorrow. If you have to leave early in the day, that's going to be the problem spot. But once you get closer to late morning, early afternoon, shouldn't really have any problems anymore there. Veronica saying cold and windy in Muskegon. Vicki saying pretty windy north of Greenville. Yeah, let me go ahead and while we're talking about the winds, we'll actually check in on those winds again. We mentioned them a little bit ago. Gusts were as high as the 40s in Muskegon, and we've seen these gusts pretty consistently throughout the overnight already. 32 in Grand Rapids, gusting to 30 in Fremont, 41 Muskegon, and 32 in Holland. These gusts again 30 to 40 plus going to continue throughout the overnight. Again, those wind advisories will be in effect till 7 o'clock tomorrow morning as well. Let's see. Erica, windy in Coopersville. Corinne, also windy in Fremont. Kyle saying the dogs don't want to stay outside long. No, it's cold out there. I mean, even the fur, when you get the winds like this, I mean, it doesn't take a lot to pull that heat away from you. Vicki, different Vicki from before, saying windy, cold rain in Grand Haven. Grand Haven, I would expect you guys to stay on the rain side of things as we head through tonight. Maybe some mix comes down briefly, but I don't think you're going to have any of the icing problems just because your temperatures will be warmer. Just for one, the fact that you're close to the water, you guys will be mostly in the mid to low 30s tonight. The radar again showing some of that mix falling here across Ionia County and up into portions of Montcalm, Kent County, Newaygo County. Again, this is pretty weak stuff. Let me switch over to just the Grand Rapids radar, and we will decrease the sensitivity a little bit. This is about where we would be at sensitivity-wise for summer storms, summer rain. It's pretty light stuff that's falling right now. This isn't going to be the impactful, real impactful stuff. That's again going to come later once a lot more of that moisture starts to come in from the south. The real heavy moisture working its way toward the 94 corridor right now. Barbara saying windy here in Granville there as well. Super windy and raining in Pearson. That's from, sorry if I mispronounced your name here, Senesjo? I'm sorry about that. Aaron saying windy in Spring Lake, and Christine saying windy where they're at as well. So yeah, plenty of wind out there tonight and ice that will become problematic later on, especially again for those northern counties. So we are about 23 minutes away from the start of our 11 o'clock show tonight, so we'll have more details coming up then, but for now I'm going to run through the details here again real quick. Again, winter weather advisories in place for those northern counties, Oceana, Newaygo, and Mecosta, Montcalm as well until 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. The threat's going to be ice that comes as we head through tonight. You can see the ice there again on the hour-by-hour radar as we head into the early morning hours. Most of the accumulation potential going to really be between midnight and 5 a.m. That's when the biggest impact is going to be felt across the northern counties. So you can see that ice accumulation potential as high as 0.3 inches out there, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but it doesn't take a lot of ice to be problems, and especially when you factor in the winds that will remain gusty throughout the overnight hours and prompting wind advisories for counties that are not under the winter weather alerts. Those wind advisories again in the counties here in TAN, that will start. It started about 38 minutes ago at 10 o'clock. Will continue until 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. So we'll keep a watch of the winds tonight and of course of the ice, and we'll keep you up to date tomorrow morning on 13 on your side starting at 4:30 with the latest on travel conditions and power outages that may result from this ice. It's going to be a slippery commute for sure. Northern counties, definitely watch out for that. And then as we head deeper into the week, we'll keep an eye on the potential for lake effect snow that starts starts up late Thursday, continues into Friday, and goes into the weekend as well. It's going to be a wintry couple days of weather here across West Michigan, but the good news is ice will melt. Temperatures above freezing tomorrow afternoon. 40 your expected high for tomorrow, 35 though for Friday, and then the rest of the 10-day forecast is all downhill. If you want to see that 10-day forecast, of course, you'll have to wait till the 11 o'clock show coming up here in just a little bit, or you can check it out online now. 13 on Your Side YouTube channel. Newest episode of 13 Weather Plus has just gone up there as well, where we talk more, of course, about this winter system, the full forecast, and some of the severe weather that the system has been spawning across the country. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. We'll be back on 13 on Your Side at 11 o'clock. Of course, that is on air online, 13onyourside.com, and streaming with 13 Plus. That's available on Roku and Fire TV. And of course, you can watch on the app as well, available on iOS and Android devices. For now, I hope you're having a great evening out there. I'll see you again here at 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching 13 on Your Side. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens.